Hello, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. So, we have Mr. Abad and we have Parmentier. He who shall not be sent in chocolate, apparently. So it's going to be an interesting turn, then, really, isn't it? See. I mean, it's funny, because it's one of these of where I can't say that we have total confidence. He could attack Rabal, he could attack Truck. Will he? I don't think so. I don't think it's very likely. He could attack these places nonetheless, and we may be able to respond to that. We may be able to resist to some degree. It depends on how many actual aircraft fly at that time. We're not invulnerable. He could still, of course, cause damage, but what we have to hope for is that we could try to make it a difficult exchange for him to say it nicer, really. Which is going to be an interesting one there. We'll have to see how things go. I don't think he's going to go for Rabal or Truck. He could potentially head north, but I don't think he's going to do that. I think he wanted us to force our hand awake. We saw just how many submarines. We'd seen at least 4 submarines in the area. Now, as supply levels of Rabal, well, there's going to be the near 10,000 supply that will be placed inside Rabal. There's plenty of torpedoes. There's about 200 torpedoes in that headquarters, so we're good on the headquarters with torpedoes, so I don't think we need to worry about that. I'm pretty sure it's 200. Something wicked comes my way. Well, we'll see about that. I mean, this is it. He may expect us to actually send the Kidapatide directly towards him. We're not doing that, actually. So let's see. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to be rather intrigued to see what happens. We will have a bit of an attack at Clark Field in the Philippines as well, so that's going to be interesting. It'll be upon the island of Luzon. We'll see. We do also have additional H6K4s in the area. As to whether they fly or not is going to be another question, but we'll see. Even if we have no combat nor engagements today, that's still not a bad thing for us. Because it gives us more time to rest our air power. Potentially respond to him if he repositions. So, okay. We're aware of when he is vaguely then. Let's see if we can spot any movements. We are moving task forces away from the enemy. Okay. S-37. Okay. We should have Mayoko going inside BLeAcHACiD today. I did put a extra large escort with her. How you doing there, Stein? Good to have you, my friend. Okay, so it looked like we saw some ships heading towards Rabal, perhaps. Right, yeah, he's heading towards Rabal. That's going to be really interesting. Okay, wow. That's a lot of PT boats. Ideally, the Kashai can get out of it. I think it's Kashai. She should have been due to leave this turn, actually. We'll see. We'll see. PT boats could, of course, be quite nasty. We'll see here. Oh, of course, she takes the torpedo. Well, there we go. So that is the Kashai taking a torpedo from the PT boats. That's unfortunate. I wanted her to get out of here with the paratroopers, but she's taken a long time to load up, apparently. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, yeah, she's going to go down there. Well, that's a shame. Yeah, she's not very... Yeah, she goes down there. Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. I mean, this is it. She's a light cruiser, but she doesn't have that sort of speed there to escape. So we do see the Express over here. We do actually see quite a lot of ships around Colombo. Lots of ships in this area. Well, rip Kashai. Okay, she... Yeah, I like that ship as well. Ugh. I can't recall if we had load supply on. It might have been potentially on. I think we should have docked. Well, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Oh well. There's a lot of ASW over here. There's a lot of ASW there. It does make you wonder what could be in here. So far, just rattles. But these are nasty. These are not exactly what we want to be encountering here. But we should be in deep water here. Relatively safe. A lot of rattling so far. Yeah, I regret sending the Kashai. Well, Kashita should go pick up those paratroopers now. But I thought she would have been underway by now. I suppose this is what we had to expect with the PTs. They're still there in the area. Okay, so Express, Vampire, and Electric. She launched 6 torpedoes at Express, okay. I wish there were settings to tell them don't do stupid things like that. Don't attack destroyers, it's just simply not worth it. You might get lucky, but the majority of the time, no, you're not going to get lucky. Right, air night strikes, none of them so far. Oh, right, okay, so over here at Midway events, we do actually strike out against some shipment here, which is interesting. Okay, another torpedo out there. So I was a little bit worried there, so I'm thinking Midway. Oh wait, no, we don't have it. That's the other game. But that's 2 torpedoes there, and a shell hit. That's not too bad. But that suggests that there might not actually be any sort of escort there, so we might be able to pick up on a good chunk of shipping there at Midway. That's interesting. I can't recall I was actually having a sub by Midway, so they might have actually just been passing at the time, actually. I'd have to double check on that one. I found low aggression sub-commanders to be engaged in proper convoy ships instead of escorts. Right, okay. Well, that makes sense. That does make sense. Okay, it's moving into the day phase. Why is it an AOCM here? Oh, for fuck's sake. Has he actually been told? Oh, for God's sake. Well, there we go. So that must have been an ACM that was accidentally sent into Singapore. I don't know where that's come from. It must have had Johor Bahru as a home base, but that's bizarre. Okay, well that's... It might have been something that we sent a long time ago, actually. Well, okay, it sets it off mine, so... he's right by Rabaul. Okay, I don't... There's a few things here I'm like, I can't remember that. That must be things that we missed then. That's bizarre. But he's well within range there, Minneapolis. So we may very well see a strike. I don't know if he's actually within 6 hexes. I can't recall if that's 6 hexes, but it's definitely within range of the G3s there. Yeah, well that's it. Actually hitting the minefield does make it easier. Right, 5 allied ships there. Interesting. So we are going to see potentially something over by Rabaul. That's going to be very interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of detection over there. I mean, how many hexes is that? So... it's not that far out, but is it within 6 hexes though? So that could be the V4Y1s there being potentially employed. But we'll see if he sends anything else. But I'm surprised he's actually gone for a Rabaul. I mean, this is it. We'll see what happens here now, but... best case scenario would be hitting any ships. I mean, this is assuming that things actually go to plan and we do see strikes. Even hitting any part of his air power is still good. I'm going to be very intrigued to see what happens here, really. I'm sure everybody else is going to be. Okay. Critical hit there on the Hawk. It does seem to be feeding in aircraft here. Their fatigue is somewhat telling. I mean, I think the Buffalo are at about 32,000 feet, actually, so they do have a little bit of extra altitude. I might actually go that little bit to their actual ceiling then. But it's one of those of, like, is it particularly worth it? Should be doing alright, yeah, they're at 32,000 feet. Right. And the thing is, Rabaul... it's going to be interesting, because if he hits Rabaul, we have a nice that's a pretty nice coordinated strike there. That's quite good, quite a few models there. So if he does strike against Rabaul, there is a lot of shipping at Rabaul. A whole hell of a lot of shipping there at Rabaul. So he may not strike at what he would actually hope to. It does it really makes you wonder, what does he think we have at Rabaul? He's been lingering away from Rabaul for some time now. Did he feel that we weren't able to defend ourselves? I mean, that's going to be the question there. We do have some DDs there, in case it does go ahead and send in some bombardment, but I don't think it's going to have... well, there's no bombardment, of course, because obviously the naval phase is over. Yeah, it was a bloody shame about that, Bruce Swanker. I'll be beating myself up about that one later. Okay, more runway hits is good. We do, of course, have a battle at Clark today. So he's coming in here with the LT-12s and the Falcons. I mean, yeah, they're getting pretty beaten up by our own flag, so I don't know what he's trying to do here, because they are getting... that's a lot of flak damage there. They're coming in really low. They came at 100 feet then on ground attack. What is he trying to achieve with that? Right, so they're no longer being escorted by H-81s, as far as I can tell, unless there's a second strike that's going to come in here, or potentially a third or something of that nature. That's an interesting one. Yeah, and again unescorted. He may vary that up. They might have realised that we're not actually going to jump on them as of yet. We'll see. I do wonder how Burma's going to go. So we do have the Thai forces actually moving closer and closer to the Bigu. Okay. So not seen an airstrike yet. ACM goes down there. Beats me as to why she was there. Okay. How are we going to see a strike here? D3A... So spotting... spotting ships out by wake. Interesting, interesting. Vindicators there. Okay, sounds like aircraft being shot down. Yeah, that's interesting. It looks like it might have been the right move to actually pull back from wake then, because we are seeing allied shipping near wake, and supposedly have a cruiser. So what we can obviously do then is use our great naval search to really stay away from him. So come on, let's see, will we get an airstrike? I'm sure everybody's just as anxious as I am. Loot spots of fakes, yep. Was it a blue? Was it the heavy cruise? I didn't quite see. So we are striking here then. So we do have 32 zeros and 9 G3M2s. This is exactly what we want to see here. It would have been nice to see more zeros, but 32 is still pretty good. We're coming in here. If we shoot and damage his wildcats, this is still good. I don't really care if the G3s get through. Obviously, we want them to get through. But if we hit and damage his air power, this is good. This is nothing but good. So let's hope that we get some good results here. Let's hope that we can shoot down some of his air power. If we get through, that'd be great. But I just want to point out this is the first time we've actually been able to engage his carriers, I think ever, actually. As to whether it's even as carriers, it could be actually surface assets that are actually being covered by LRCAP, who knows. It's going to be very interesting. Seeing them actually cutting out there is interesting. So I wonder if they are LRCAP, but we'll see, we'll see. We're definitely engaged in some sort of ship in here. I'm glad that it's only a low amount of G3s, I'd rather have that. We have our Wildcat drop down there, that's good. What is it? I think Geno was telling me that they only get about 8 Wildcats of a certain type a month, which is nice, so we can win a battle of attrition here. Yeah, F4F's diving on the zeros. I do want altitude is at, but we'll see. Only 9 is better, I'd rather have less, I would rather have less. You've got to think that if we deal with his air power first, then we can actually strike. I'd rather have a heavy escort. I mean, we could have swapped it around, we could have had 9 zeros and 32 Nels, but I'd rather have 32 zeros and 9 Nels, because at least then they have a better chance of making it through. Like, they might get shot down by flak, but that's a given anyway, really. Flak is pretty nasty for the allies. We've seen a few of them turn away here. I mean, ideally we can shoot up as many of these Wildcats as we can. Who knows? I always wish there was like some sort of animation to show you how close you're getting to actually strike, because that'd be awesome. That'd add a lot of like sorts of tension. So we do have a 0 turn back there. Of course, we don't have any drop tanks, but we should ideally have a drop tanks enabled next turn. Let's hope for that. But this is interesting. Now, will we actually see a strike at Raphael? That's going to be the question. Or is it just a naval search? Okay, shoot on the Wildcat. We're doing well so far. There's another Wildcat down. Obviously more being scrambled here. I mean, more Wildcats are joining. Wildcats are pretty damn good. I mean, this is to be expected, but it's going to have a large cap. But we're not doing bad so far. I don't know how many of these nails are actually going to get through, if indeed any, but we shoot down a Wildcat, that's good. Another 0 falls out there in the battle. Even if we don't get the bombers through, I'm still happy with this. We might yet get another forward strike, perhaps. I don't think so, but we'll see. But this sends a message to him that he cannot do as he once did. So that's a Wildcat damage there. Wildcat jumping out. But we need those zeros. Yeah, look at that. It's another one down. Looking good so far. Fire from behind. Wildcat down. The Wildcat dropping out. So this is a pretty hefty battle here then. Fire from behind. 0 damage. 0 drops out. We're not too far from our base, but of course we don't have a drop tanks here. Wildcat damage. 0 damage. 0 drops out. We'll probably start seeing the zeros. I don't know, actually. I mean, this is it. They are there to escort in these bombers. They're not going to just drop out unless they're forced to. Well, we can see Wildcats are dropping out. But there is still more coming in here. Well, this is it. This is why I prefer having more escorts than bombers, really. Yeah, and it probably is. It could very well be. We have a 0 shot down there at first. We didn't quite see the actual carriers. I mean, this is, as I said, it might very well be a LRCAP, which, okay, if it is, that's still fine. We're still shooting at his fighters, and that's still pretty good. He may have his own strike coming in shortly, we'll see about that. But this is actually going to be quite interesting either way, really. And as far as it goes, if we hit anything, that's just a bonus at this point. Shooting Wildcats is still pretty damn worthwhile for me. God, I really wish we knew how close we were to we actually struck there, but that's with the Wildcat down. That's what we want there. Every Wildcat really is worthwhile. Wildcat fire at 0 there. 0 fire at Wildcat, Wildcat down. Yeah, it's going pretty... it's a pretty big brawl there. That's a good way to look at it, brawl. Wildcat damage. We have another 0 shot down, so 2 down here. Likely so. Likely potentially some sort of cap trap. I mean, it would not shock me if this is like some sort of LR CAP trap, but it might potentially work against them to a degree. We'll see about that. So 0 damage, dropping out. Still got a few zeros left. Yeah, I mean, this is it. It's like the zeros have a cannon, but the Wildcats have the 50 cals, and the 50 cals will rip up the 0. The cannon can take down the Wildcat, as we've seen, but yeah, we need to get the cannon shots on there. Not entirely sure what the experience is, but I imagine they're decently experienced. It depends which squadron's actually fighting here, really. Okay, Wildcat damage. I mean, this is it. We do have the ability now to potentially redeploy, well, to deploy additional zeros to the area if we need to. And the question comes down to, like, how long could this battle go on for, really? Will he leave the area? That's going to be the question here. We'll see. We'll see. That's going to be it. Right. So I've started to see the F4Fs. Yeah, a couple of them have dropped out. We've had a couple of zeros drop out. It would have been amazing had we had more zeros. Just wait until we get the A6M8, so it's going to be nice there. Having armoured zeros would be nice. Faster and armoured zeros with heavier armour would be very nice. Right, spins away on fire. We might take a few zero losses here, but we can replace zeros. Not so much the pilots, but we can replace the zeros. He can't replace his fighters, the carrier fighters, anywhere near as easily as we can. My god, this is going off some wild here. 0 damage, 0 doesn't drop out, actually, that's good news. But you can see that we've not had the G3s engaged as of yet, which is nice. Yeah, this is interesting. Come on. I think we want to see what happens here. I mean, 2 zeros lost so far. Maybe more to operational, but that's still not too bad. We've shot down a few of the Wildcats, which is not too bad, with likely damaged additionals. Wildcat damage. Down for the deck. Draws to engine. Yeah. Oh, there's a few of them dropping out here, actually. Damn. Wildcat damaged. Wildcat dropping out. Right, yep, headed for cloud cover, so that drops out. So we are somewhat outnumbered in terms of fighters here, to say the least. But we can't be far away, surely. 7,000 feet. Yeah, this is right. Okay, so the G3s are finally taking attacks now. We're probably going to lose a lot of these G3s, if not all of them, really. Which I'm still fine with. Even being able to have anything like this is still in our favour, really. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see the first G3 go down. You can imagine had we had 32 nails, we'd have lost a hell of a lot. I'm still fine with this. Even if we don't even get through to the ships, I'm still okay with that. If it potentially allows us to strike him in the future, that's still good. Come on, I want him to get through though, because that's 3 down so far. Truly wish we had more zeros, but we'll see. It's a critical hit. Yeah, this shows you how nasty Cap is, really. Yeah, 4 down so far. I don't think they're going to make it through, but we might get lucky. Who knows? There's another one down. Wildcat driven away. G3 damaged. G3 down. Yeah, likely not going to get any of the G3s through here. But this is why you want to have as many escorts as you possibly can. Yep, there we go. They finally do make it through. Only 2 of them, so 7 were shot down. So what do we find? Oh, come on, please hit. Please hit. Oh, no, it doesn't hit. God damn it. Oh, had we had a larger strike. So those are the carriers. That wasn't LRCAP. But man, that's gonna worry him there. Imagine if we had got a torpedo into there. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. We had, yeah, that's a lot of wildcats there. It's not a wasted opportunity. We got to strike at his fighters. You can't have it your own way all the time. This is still good. Even being able to get there is still good. We managed to chip away at some of his actual wildcats. You might not think much of that, but that does matter. That does matter. See, that's at least 5 wildcats there. That still matters. That really does matter. We'll see what happens here. You gotta think he's within range, so if we actually get the supply into Raphael next turn, we may still be able to fight. I mean, this is it. I mean, that was obviously a lot of wildcats, but we didn't see any buffalo, which is interesting. But I don't think it was a wasted opportunity. It could have gone better, could have gone better. G4s are elsewhere. G4's obviously slightly more durable. And of course we still have other requirements as well. Right, so we see him coming in here. Right then, so we do see wildcats, we see 18 wildcats, 19 buffalo, so this is where the buffalo are. I mean, this is a lot of dauntlesses coming in here. We've only got 23 zeros and 7 A5 and 4 claws. It's not a huge amount, but let's hope that we can try and just chip away at them here, really. He's likely going to be going ahead and hitting something. It is probably going to hurt, but this is fine. This is absolutely fine, because we're actually being able to hit his air power here. Also, we prefer them to not hit actual ships, but I'm okay with this. This is what we wanted here. We wanted him to come to Raphael, and he's here. That's what we want. It would have been amazing had we got a torpedo into the Enterprise. That would have been amazing, but I'll take this. I'm still happy with this. I'm going to speed things up, just so we can see really what the results are. A5 M4s are going to do amazing, but we're still getting hits in there, so yep, he's coming in here. But there's a lot of ships in this area, and of course they're going to go for Kitakami. Of course he goes for Kitakami, for fuck's sake. It's not a good day to be a Japanese light cruiser. So Kitakami. Ah, fuck me. Of course it'll be Kitakami. I was about to say there's a lot of shipping in the area. There's a whole lot of... Okay. Of course it's going to go for the best things. Okay, that's fine. Still good, still good. Kitakami is still in port. You may yet survive. Nagara. Oh, for God's sakes. It's a bad day for light cruisers, isn't it? Leave my light cruisers alone. Fuck's sake. But I'm still fine with this. I'm still fine. It's not a good day to be a light cruiser in this Empire, though. Right, Nagara takes a bomb. Yeah, massive explosive damage. And this is the thing, we can't stop it. We're not, it's not denial. Like, you show me a game where you can protect every one of your assets, and I will show you a liar. You can't. This is the thing, this is potentially 3 carriers worth of aircraft. You can't stop that. We got a strike in, sure we didn't get a torpedo into there, but that's still good. He's going to be within range this turn. So we may yet get follow-up strikes, we can coordinate. But the thing is, there's a lot here to take into mind. There's further ramifications. Also, it's a shame that we are taking losses here, but I'm fine. It is what it is. I can't do anything about that. Let's see. If they don't sink, we might be able to save them. So heavy fires. Heavy fires isn't too bad. Heavy fires. The destroyer's obviously going to be hurt by that. Heavy fires, heavy damage. But that's still not too bad. We did shoot down one of his actual aircraft over here, which is not too bad. We had the A5M4 shot down. But that's not that bad. I mean, it doesn't sound like they've sank. We might be able to save them. So that's still a bonus. They may burn up, but I'm still pretty happy with that. Right, we do have a land combat coming shortly. I mean, this is it. It's hard to stop that much air power. We anticipated him potentially heading to truck, but if he comes close, I don't think it's going to come close, but we may yet get additional strikes at him, so we'll see how it goes. So we do have our delivery to attack at Changchao. Obviously not a good day to be a light cruiser or a destroyer, but hey, that's fine. Okay, so the 36th Division, the 32nd and 10th Division launching attacks. I'm just really happy that he's actually come into the range of Raphael. So the thing is, he's likely going to have to withdraw. Which means, well, this is it. This is it. He's gone for Raphael, thinking he could get some easy prey, but we've still chipped away at his actual air power. Sure, we've lost air power ourselves, we've taken a lot of hits to our ships. It's a little unfortunate that they found the light cruisers there, the destroyers, there's a hell of a lot of ships in there, but hey, at the end of the day, we'd rather be the warships that can actually take a hit. I mean, I would have preferred it to have been a ship that wasn't worth as much, but I'll still take it. There's not much we can always do about that. We do capture Cheng Chao, so those units will be forced to surrender there, so that's a great victory for us here. And pretty easy there, Cheng Chao going. Well, I know, but what can you do about that? I think, come on, Evoken, what can you do? What would you do in this position? It's easy to say, well, he got this. Well, sure, but he's had to pay for it. It wasn't easy prey because it was prey that fought. He has a whole lot of SPDs. We can't stop, like, potentially 2 to 3 carries worth of airpower. We acknowledge that, but we still made him pay for it. Okay, so that's 14,000 there, so 9 units destroyed. Obviously, that's not worth a huge amount, but it's still good, so that's Cheng Chao now secured. We do have a deliberate attack over here at Clark. Oh, don't be such a pessimist there, Parmentier. Don't be such a pessimist, it's not cool. You've got to look at the situation. He's now within range of Rabal. We may potentially get follow-up strikes. And let's just put it this way. How often can we force him to come to battle? Not very often. So him choosing to come to battle and us actually being able to strike out at him is still good. Stop being such a pessimist. Come on. Look at it in a good light. Yeah, we lost some stuff. We might have some stuff that's damaged, but okay, that's it. What else can we do? He's come to Rabal. Rabal has proved itself able to actually... Well, obviously he can't fend him off completely, which we knew about. But it's proved that it can actually be a difficult target. You've got to take that into consideration, really look at it. Well, this is it. He's going to have to turn back now. That's the thing. That's what's important now. He's going to have to turn back. Or he might potentially linger in the area. Or he might potentially move towards truck. There's a lot of options here. He's likely going to get the hell out of the way. Yeah, as you say, attack a different target. Very likely he goes for a different target. Or very likely that he actually withdraws from battle. Well, the good thing is, he's not just been able to have his way. Well, that's easy said and enough there, Evoken. But the thing is, it's like, did you know he was going to attack Rabal? Or could he could have attacked Truck? He could have attacked Roing the Mire. You can't just say, oh, well, I would have done this and this, because we're looking at this with hindsight. It's surprising we didn't have more actual fighters actually fly at Rabal, so we had 100% of the actual A5M4 camp there. I don't know why only a few of them showed up, but hey, it is as it is, really. Right, so this battle over here. So we reduced fortifications to 1, which is good. So 2094, 645 there. We reduced it to 1. Let's see, what do our casualties look like? 1,932. Actually, pretty good casualties here. As much like last time, 53 destroyed engineers, which obviously sucks, but we are going through the fortifications now. 2 guns destroyed there, 12 disabled, 29 vehicles, 4 destroyed, 25 disabled. What did we do to him? Look at that. That's actually added up there. 1,428 casualties. Destroyed, yeah, 63 destroyed, 66 disabled, 5 non-combatants destroyed, 72 disabled. No engineers destroyed, 27 disabled. We destroyed 30 guns, 26 disabled, destroyed 2 vehicles, 35 disabled. That isn't an outright victory, but that's still a victory in my eyes, because that's not even 2-to-1 odds anymore. That's good for us. I'm enjoying this so far. We're doing pretty well here. Okay, he's had a very real reduction in power there. So you can imagine he's at 645, and he's been reduced by now a definite 63. We've had our AV definitely reduced by 53, but it depends if they're actually IJ engineers. It just says engineers. I wish it said like army engineers or something like that, differentiated to some degree. That would be nice, but that's actually a pretty nice result there. We do have another shock attack over here. Okay, so 4... And they surrender at long last. That's good news. It looks like... just them surrender? Oh, did they? What? 1 unit destroyed. Okay, so we're going to have to keep on fighting, apparently. So it looks like they're about to go. Then if 1 unit's gone, then the others should go. Then shortly thereafter. Oh, wow. Exciting turn. We've had a few strikes against us. Obviously, that would have been preferable to not have had them. But we'll see what the light cruisers and destroyers are looking like. They may yet survive. Who knows? They may yet survive. No, but you're looking at it the wrong way, Evoken. You're looking at it as if we knew absolutely he would attack Rabal. We didn't know absolutely he would attack, that he would attack Rabal. It's not insignificantly garrisoned. I mean, obviously, we could have had it all on cap, but that would have removed our ability to strike out. It's important to have the ability to defend, but the ability to strike as well. Because who knows, we might have been lucky there and potentially got a torpedo into the Enterprise. That would have been amazing. But we didn't, and that's still fine. I mean, this is it. He had the SPDs come in, but he only struck at 1, so fair enough. It's a shame, but it ended up being the light cruisers and etc., but c'est la vie. We'll have more air power that can transfer from Japan down to that area, so we'll go ahead and take a look at how the actual cruisers are faring. But let's take a look then. So whereabouts is he? How far away? So he's actually 6 hexes, so he could have been potentially struck by Rabal. But the good news is we actually do have a supply of Rabal now to actually strike, so we can actually put the drop tanks on, which is good news. What we're going to go ahead and do then is just shake a look over here. Take a look by ships. Of course, you know he would attack you. Well, no, but we didn't. You can't say we knew he would attack Rabal, because he might not have attacked Rabal. Why didn't he attack Rabal 2 turns ago? Or last turn? You can't just say, oh, we knew he was going to attack Rabal. He could have attacked other targets. Alright. Let me see, where's Escort? They'll likely be on Escort, I'd imagine. Oh, I'll just go ahead and check here. Are they in ports or something? Oh, they're in port. Okay. So, well, that's not too bad then. Let's sort here by system. So, well, Fire's one we're going to take a look at. So, Kitakami took quite a beating there. She's had her AA guns knocked out. She still has her torpedoes, which is good. Fire's is 28. That's not too bad. That's not too bad to say she got hit with a couple £1,000 bombs. Hamikaze, 7, 8, 7. I think they can survive. I think they can legitimately survive there. Nagara 32. They're obviously going to have to head back to Japan, but that's fine. They've still survived. They took a pounding. They took an absolute beating, but they're still alive. They're still there. That's not bad. So that's interesting, Ben. So we do see his forces are here, Ben. It's suggesting that BP, which is an intriguing one. Lots of ships there. He's within 6 hexes, so he's going to have to bucket out of there. Yeah, but a Vulcan. Not being funny, dude, but hindsight's 2020. Would you rather us protect one base and then it not be the base that was protected? That was attacked, you know? Okay, let me go ahead and save this here. This is it. You can't always predict which base is going to be attacked. And even the bases that you think are absolutely going to be attacked might not actually be the base that is actually attacked. You've got to take into consideration the enemy might do what is unexpected. And even so, even being attacked there, well, we've really not come off badly then. The ships can survive. I'm pretty good with that. And obviously, Kitakami has the most fires, but she has a gun down. I'm pretty good with that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the air and ground losses. Well, sorry, yeah, look at that. So 9 Wildcats go down today. Also, we had a hefty loss of G3s. 5 zeros, but that's a day's production there. That's pretty good there. SPDs, so 5. 5 Buffalo. That's not insignificant. I mean, that's 9 Wildcat there. We have another 2 F1F 3A Wildcats. I mean, what we can do now is we could potentially transfer additional air power into this area. Oh, Vulcan, don't be getting all huffy huff. We're not gonna agree all the time. Okay, let's see. So we have our zeros over here. So fatigue is obviously something of an issue that we can take into consideration. But we do have the ability to get additional zeros in here, which is quite good. That's good. You can see the train is leaving the area. That's fine. The Kido Batai. Yes, we'll be able to merge, which is good. I can actually refuel these guys here. So, is he aware of where the Kido Batai is now? Can you show the pilot losses? Yes, sure. So we have 2 missing in action today, 3 wounded in action today, 10 killed in action today. Not too bad, really. We can deal with that. Obviously, it's not great losing any, but that's still not too bad. Ship sunk today, then. So Shy. That's a shame. I would have preferred to have kept her, really. But this is it. Yeah, she's just too slow to evade those PT boats. Yeah. It looks like it's other paratroopers then with her, potentially. Ah, well. Unless they'd been picked up. Did I order them picked up? No. Okay, well that's still fine. It means I don't have to worry about that fragment. We'll just obviously recover their strength then. That's a shame, but hey, what can we do? We had a good battle over here, which is very nice. So, let's see then. Fatigue, 36, 38, 38, 44, 37 there. Obviously, they're going to have to wait and recover for some days then, but that's still good. We've taken them down to level 1 fortifications. The airfield does have damage. Also, we're going to have to keep that airfield damage up. Still 22 units over here, then. That's interesting. Is he still potentially moving out there? Assuming. He's still got things moving out from Clark, which is interesting. Oh, he didn't move over here then. Interesting. What I'm going to do then is move back over here then if I can. So that's 1 unit there. Actually, he's got 2 units there. Actually, we'll move here. We'll stay here then. So he hasn't moved out entirely. Interesting. He can't... He could potentially march to here to Mauban, perhaps. I think I'm still going to order them to return, actually. Just in case. Shouldn't take us too long, even in combat mode. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, the ACM was a little bit of a surprise headed in there. I don't know where that actually came from, actually. FO. They were in combat mode. Oh, sorry. I don't know why they're in movement mode then. I must have accidentally clicked there. Yeah, I don't know. I must have accidentally clicked there. What's the name of this game? This is Gary Grisby's War in the Pacific, Admiral's Edition. Of course, I'm playing this with a modded map. You can go ahead and find said mods actually listed on my Discord. There probably will be some sort of link. But if you go out and check on, if you check my YouTube channel on YouTube at XRG, then yeah, you'll be able to find like a link to the actual Discord. There's links to everything there essentially. But yes, it is an awesome game. It's the game we're playing against Mr. Admiral Dadman, who is a War in the Pacific forum not administrator, moderator. He's very experienced, significantly more experienced than I am. So he's given us a good run for our money. So we've got 26 for 37 there. Okay. We're obviously still waiting on our forces, but that's recovering there. Infantry will be making their way across, so 22, so they may arrive tomorrow or the day after, but very likely tomorrow. 4th Division's moving there, so we actually do have a tanks here as well. So yeah, the tanks will arrive tomorrow, that's good. What we could potentially do then is give them a day's rest then while the infantry arrive, and maybe potentially even a day's rest then before they attack Singapore finally. I imagine we will take Singapore then. If we don't take it the first time, we'll take it in subsequent battles. There we go. So now that we do have the actual supply over here at Palembang, you can see that things have been sorted out now, so that's good. We can actually resume air activity once again from Sumatra. We're looking at here. Okay. Yeah, 34,000. That's going to be all the supply we actually need in this area now for a long time, as it'll be able to produce its own now, which is good. So we are repairing the oil. Awesome. Right, okay. Yeah, that flak has been fairly ferocious over here, actually. It's because they're coming in so low. I mean, we have the AAMGs. Oh, yeah, that's why. Yeah, those 75 mils there, and then the 13s. Yeah, the 75s are going to be ripping them to pieces there. I mean, that's 14 of them. One of them is not active right now, so it's disabled. But that's still not enough, and that's no wonder they're taking a lot of flak losses there. Which is fine by me. Okay. Right, so we do finally have some detection over here. So we see there's 1 unit over here to Sambarang. That's good. I'd like to get more detection along these bases here. Even though it's set, it seems to be that. We're just not getting lucky there. We didn't see the shipper. We didn't have anything over here then. And the heavy cruiser has returned over here. Undetected, that's an interesting one. We didn't have any interceptions over here, unfortunately. Yeah, I'll go ahead and save it then. Oh, I've already saved it, haven't I? Yeah, I've already saved it. Haha! I've already saved it. There we go. But that's good news then. I mean, I'm really glad that the actual ships have been sure. It's not great that they took the damage there, but being survived, that's good. We also do have a submarines in the area that could potentially position themselves to actually cut off his line of retreat to a degree. Well, not cut it, but make it more difficult, really. Because he's in a position now where he's 6 hexes from Raphael. So that's not insignificant. We can strike out at 14 hexes, and that's 12 hexes from his current position. Not insignificant. He'll probably be able to escape if he does retreat. The best case scenario would be he actually heads north towards Struck. That'd be awesome, but I don't think he's going to do that. He's going to have to. He's going to have to pull out from the area. The good thing is that's forcing him to use fuel, so he's going to have to pull back. We might then potentially bring Kitbatai south, perhaps, but we did see something over this way, didn't we? Yeah, AVs over here is interesting. Now we had that reported as what was it, CA or something. Moving southeast is interesting, but what we can go ahead and do then actually bring our subs and actually try and hunt that down. He might retreat his CVs. We don't know how many fighters we damaged and how many are still ready. He might think that he has insufficient ready fighters. Well, this is it. He's still got a decent amount, but he's still come off there with losses, which is good. Obviously, it would have been amazing had we gotten the torpedo into the Enterprise, but that's fine. That's fine. I think, well, we all knew that was going to happen, really. Having 32 zeros was a good result, actually having that many. It would have been preferable to have had more actual fighters on cap. I mean, this is it. It would have been nice to have had more A5M4s, but that's fine. We can make do with that. I mean, we lost 5 zeros today, but we've already produced 5 zeros. We have 5 zeros back in the pool now. Obviously, they would arrive tomorrow, but that's still 5 zeros there. Now, we do have our fellows over here. Seems like they're just destined. But these guys will now be able to function just fine. They should be fine here, which is good. So that means there's additional H6K4 naval search here, which is very important. We do have over here as well, we do have the Sasebo H6KLs. So you can see that these guys, let's see, range. Yep, they could be transferred to the Shortlands. I'm going to leave that for the time being, so I might just send them piecemeal. But that means we could potentially have 18 extra H6K4s in this area, which is definitely not insubstantial, well, insignificant amount. So we can see here we have some pretty good information. So 7 ships sighted there. Task Force of 2, Task Force of 7, Task Force of 10. That's interesting. 113 fighters, 178 bombers. Are those numbers particularly accurate for his CVs? I mean, it's suggesting there CV. Not too sure about that. I imagine our detection is pretty decent, but it could be incorrect. Obviously, it could be a bit of a guess there. But that seems like a little bit too many. It might be potentially counting. But then again, no, actually, no, it could be. No, it might be about right, perhaps. So he did take on additional F-Fs, didn't he, from Wake, likely. He might have taken on additional carrier aircraft from somewhere, perhaps. So, yeah, it might be likely. How you doing there, layman? He can have CVs, well, 4 CVs. Possibly. I don't know when the 4th arrives, because I haven't played as the Allies. As to, I don't know whether it could have actually arrived down here. That's the thing. See, it looks like it was over here at Brisbane. Maybe he went around, sure, but I don't know. I don't know the time, so I can't really speculate on that one. So we can say there may be 3 to 4 CVs, but that looks maybe about 3 CVs worth, perhaps. We'll see about that. Let's go ahead and double check the air losses once again. So, yeah, SPD Dauntless there. He had a Vindicator loss as well, which is nice there. So, 27 Allied air losses today to our 21. Yeah, I mean, this is the issue. This is why we want to have the really small strikes, essentially. At least initially. Depends really on the situation. In carrier combat, then it's more or less like a alpha strike sort of thing. It would have been nice to have had an alpha strike sorted, but this is the issue. We didn't have the supply in Rabal until literally this turn. But that's not too bad. Now, I don't know. I don't think he's going to go ahead and send surface forces in here. It could potentially do that, but I don't think it'd be that daft. The good news is we do have the mines over here at Rabal. We have 95 mines now. Whether that's enough, but it would definitely cause them damage. And we could obviously have these forces disband. They could still be potentially attacked, but we still have some of our own warships here. But even doing that, it's like, he might be able to cause a lot of damage, but he's still not going to be able to silence the base there, essentially. And he may very well come under attack. I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think he would do that. But that's still intriguing. So if we take a look over here then, that's one of the pilot bugs there. So we can see that their fatigue, yeah, obviously because they flew quite heavily on, the fatigue there is about 20. We will really, we kind of wish that we had more time to have actually rested them. Well, because this has been a developing situation, it's been an intriguing one, really. We haven't had that chance to just rest as we'd like to. Right, okay. So we did manage to get the tanker unloaded there. So we've got the fuel in here, that's good. We do have additional submarines moving into this area, like a conga line. We have our subs over here patrolling here too. So, this is it. The good news is we might be able to block or potentially make it difficult. I don't know if we won't be able to stop him. Will you move more planes to Rabal? Possibly so, we'll have to take a look, but we can definitely do that as an option. It's definitely an option. It's definitely an option. Sorry, not Hornet, Yorktown. Oh, right, okay. And we've got varied reinforcement date, sorry, varied arrival date, I believe it is. So they might arrive potentially 15 days sooner, all the way up to 15 days later, anywhere in between that, really. Okay, so we do have the Armada detachment over here. That only has 1 fatigue, so the Armada detachment is a pretty prime one to actually send out that way. That could be pretty prime. Okay. Okay, let's see. So the first KUK, so they can move out there to join the rest of their fellows. That's good. I'll do that now before I pass by. Right. And they're Rebel. No, sorry. Yes, they're Rebel. That's good. That means I can actually split that group up a little bit more now, which is handy. So we'll have them shifted in there. Awesome. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and actually take a look at the aircraft a little bit closer. Right, there's still a good number of them here, which is nice. Well, that's assuming there's a 4th CV in there. I don't think there's a 4th CV because I don't think they could arrive there. The G4 is good, but I don't... it's like, sure, it's nice to have that, like, range. I don't think there's much of a difference, really, between the G3 and the G4. I mean, they're both good. Don't get me wrong, the G4's better. But I don't think the range really mattered much here, due to the fact we didn't have a supply. Obviously, having G4s would have been nice, but we have a lot of G3s in the pool, so I don't particularly mind it as much. The G4 is more durable. I think it is faster, so obviously it would have been better to have, but I don't think it's not that bad, really. G3 is still good enough. If we take a look, 35 durability. Obviously, a little bit more speed and more durability would have been nice, but still not too bad. The G3M2, not the G3M3. Yeah, no, it is. I agree, but, well, this is it. We do have G4s doing other things elsewhere. This is it, really. We can't just bring everything to this area as such. I mean, this is it. Had we known he was going to attack Rabal, obviously we would have kept forces here at Rabal, but we didn't. He could have quite easily bypassed. Okay, yeah, he's got good detection. What does he have on the base? Well, he's going to be aware that obviously the base has some firepower now. So he's got 5-6 detection, so his detection has improved, but it's not perfect still. Jingay has actually been able to survive here, which is nice. And she's unloaded, actually, which is not too bad, actually, putting that additional supply into the base there. I don't particularly mind that. Ideally, she goes unseen. Okay. Possibly, but I don't know. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure because I don't know the arrival times, but... I mean, it's very possible that she could have come in here through the south. I don't know what the time frame might have looked like on that one, really. So it's January 16th now. I don't know, maybe. I've not played as the Allies, so I don't really know when they arrive, so if it is okay, if it's not okay, you know what I mean? Right, so we have our forces that are unloaded over here then. Okay. Haguro. Let's see. Interesting. The hell is she? It was Mayoko that was hit, wasn't it? Where the hell's Mayoko? Was it Mayoko? I'm not like going mad, am I? Like, it's not... I'm not going mad, am I? It was Mayoko that was torpedoed, wasn't it? Where's Mayoko? Yeah, I'll just check the port. I mean, I'll check again, right? Maybe I'm just like missing it. She's there she is. Okay, it was probably because I had no right. Thank God for that. I was thinking, where the fuck is Mayoko? yeah, there we go. I must have had like one of the actual things on there. Oh, thank God for that. I was panicking. I'm thinking, where the fuck is Mayoko? We've lost a heavy cruiser somehow. Oh, thank God for that. Okay, that's good news. I'm thinking, where the fuck is she? I must have not had it on there properly. Oh God. Yeah, thank God for that. Jesus Christ. That was a panicking moment there. I was really confused then for a second. Whew. Okay, bloody hell. Bloody hell. That might have been a blonde moment. Okay. Oh, look at that. Yeah, you can see the amount of supply that we actually do have here is really awesome now. I think I might actually have, I don't know, is it worthwhile having them on combat mode? Excuse me. He's going for these, like, ground attacks, and I don't know why he's going for these ground attacks. Oh, so I am moving assets out from this area as well. Like, I'm going to actually have a lot of these assets move north. Why do you repair PBs with one system damage? They're just there. If you don't have to tell some things to be repaired, they just are. See, like, this is like peer mode, sorry, peer side mode, so they're just being repaired. It's just automatic, really. Like, I've not told them to stud down. Are they stood down? Oh, they shouldn't be. Oh, they're converted. Right, oh, sorry, they're being converted to BBs then. It might have been when they might have been automatically stood down or something. I think it does do automatic repairs. That one is apparently conversions there. Was that me who started converting them, Gary, or was that you? So apparently I can't remember sometimes. Okay. Right, we do have a key 43s over here. Cool. Right. Okay, we're looking pretty good then today, really. 5-0 losses is not too bad. Yeah, we had the GV shut down there. You told me to convert them? Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's just me who just forgot about that then, really. That's fine. Okay, so we had a good victory over here at Changchao. Took relatively little casualties, which is awesome. We're in a good place now. So we captured... I'm going to assume this was the supply that was in the base there, but we wiped out those forces just completely, which is nice. So we're in a decent position now. We are moving our forces over here. So there is a unit there, not too surprising. I need to go ahead and get these brigades marching over this way. So what I'm going to do then is take these additional brigades. So you're moving, you're going to be in that hex next. Okay. No, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so they'll be in that hex next. 26th Division has just arrived, which is good. We're going to have 26th Division and ideally other divisions if I can find them. And we're going to march the Northern Road. How much do I need here? 60. 60 is not even a lot, to be honest. Right, make me move down as well. I'm going to bear in mind, obviously, it's a threat from the north, so I will move some additional forces in here as well to act as a garrison, but having those actual units moving out would be very nice. I do have 5th Armoured Car, which is not part of any units, an independent unit, so fair enough, why not? Having potential armor capability is not too bad over here. And in fairness, I might potentially actually save that for going on the road north there. What we want to do here then, because we can see there is 2 units over here. But in rough terrain now, which is ×2, this is ×3, so we can actually cross the river into ×2. That's a hell of a lot better than cross into ×3, which is good. So we can get that going on there. Now, 4th mixed is in position, so we're going to wait for the additional brigades and the division to arrive, and they'll be in a pretty good position there. No, you're thinking of THG. You're thinking of a THG there, Gary. There we go. So we do have 24th resting. But we'll be able to move on shortly. I just need to obviously get the garrison units, so they're moving here. I don't know, it's an interesting one really, because he's not been really moving his forces in China. We might be able to take that, take advantage of that really, to be able to drive on towards Xi'an quickly enough. Taking these bases over here to the north would be excellent. As to whether we actually can or not, who knows. So we have 10 units over here. Those are the units that were kicked out of Luoyang, and then actually hit here once again by a bunch of armor. Obviously the armor has arrived over here. Still over, Gary. Have a good one, my friend. So, what we're going to do then is actually place them in combat mode. Now, place them all in this operations mode. There we go. Right, so they're going to arrive possibly next turn. And this is, I could potentially order an attack, but they're not moving anyway, so what I'm going to do then is allow that division to arrive. I mean, they're not moving right now. I could probably just kick their ass just using the armor there, but I'd like to have a division just to make sure we have something to give us a little bit more oomph there. It's not a bad thing, really. I'm going to go ahead and actually take a look at these forces and somebody really actually figure out how we want to progress, really. I've taken this unit over here and actually split it into 3, so we can have one element head this way, another element head this way, another element head this way. And we can sort of use it. And this is it, we do have a lot of actual assault value here, so we can move it across China, which is nice, and really use it like a battering ram. But we want to try and gain access to as many of these roads as possible, as many of these potential approaches to Xi'an as possible, really. Really put the pressure on there. So, Burma. Oh, there we go, we no longer complain about supply. So, Hayashio has been doing a good job there. Hayashio. She's doing very well. Just getting that supply moving in there has been very helpful for us. We saw a lot of assets out here, which is an interesting little development. Special destroyers out here, so it might be that potentially Hermes may be coming to play in the near future. Who knows? Who knows? Definitely destroyers, but it was odd. It could have been a incoming convoy, but we saw like ships, task force like that. We saw task forces over here in the Bay of Bengal. Interesting, very interesting. Okay, so I do want to go ahead and secure these bases over here. That'd be nice. So let's see. Let's see. So he's got 6 units over here, then. 39 fighters, 26 bombers, 45 fighters. Okay. 12 units over here, then. The TIE forces are closing in. This unit's just arrived this turn. I could potentially have it join them as well, to be honest. I don't know. It's probably worthwhile to have, like, units behind. But actually, what I could do here, then, is, let's see. Because it's the first RTA, isn't it? Right, okay. But I think if I combined them, it would set their progress back. So, yeah, it's not worthwhile. Oh, no, it's not the first. Let's see. Phew, okay. So that's 6 RTA. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, probably worthwhile marching it, really. So we'll have it move on there as well. It's not a bad thing to have additional sword value coming in there, really. That's fine. Also, I do want to get a cap set up there, and it looks like we might be able to do that in the near future. We'll likely fly out from Chiang Mai, really. Is it true that your biggest goal is to sink the Enterprise with the P4Y1? That'd be ironic. I mean, this is it. It could have potentially happened there, because they were within 6 hex range, but I don't particularly mind that, because we didn't have the cap to cover it. But this is it. If it does come within range, I mean, that's 31 additional torpedo bombers there. And we've got the actual ability here. I mean, what we're lacking over here is aviation support. I wish we had more aviation support. But of course, we do have it somewhat spread out in this area here. But this is going to be really interesting. It's going to be really interesting. It's definitely spurred a lot of movement across the actual empire here, but let's see. And this is it. He knows that this base is now able to somewhat defend itself. So the question comes down to, does he leave the area? Well, what we'll do is we'll set the submarines up over here. I'll likely set them up over like this sort of area here. Try and really look for the geographical confines, really. Really try and trap him if I can. I don't know if he would retreat. Maybe he does. Maybe he goes in and hits Talagi again, but I don't think he would. I don't know. See, the beauty is, if I take a look over here, he actually, yeah, he does not have detection on the Kidapati. That's important. That's going to worry him. Because he might be thinking, oh shit, Kidapati, I don't know when it is. I'm really looking forward to like refueling these guys. So what I can do then is actually go ahead and grab them and properly refuel them. Haruna's in here. I think Haruna's moved through this area anyhow. She's moving back to Japan to go ahead and refuel. But still not a bad thing to actually have her here, to just make sure she's actually properly protected, really. We do have our landing forces there. This one's an interesting one. We'll have to try and rally our subs to go ahead and attack that. Yeah, it's got the units over here. Interesting. Got the fuel over here at Saipan, so I've unloaded that fuel. Or is it not? Oh yes, now it's unloading. I might go ahead and unload that fuel there. We've got a decent amount of fuel over here at truck. It might not be a bad idea to potentially have like Saipan given some fuel and potentially a little bit more fuel to Bavardwab, perhaps. Yeah, I might have it split between like Saipan and Bavardwab. Maybe Ojima. Might not be a bad idea to potentially have some fuel around that area. It depends, really. Hey, Duvetel's perspective, good to have you, my friend. Ahoy there, Admiral. Been hearing a lot about you from Tortuga. Ah, that's awesome. I do like Tortuga. Don't tell him, but I like the buff. I like the matte finish on his shell. Oh dear. Right, so we have that then. So this is it really. Let's see. We do have the ability to transfer the Sasebo HSK force to Buin. I think we will do that. Let's take a look over here at a short learn. So we have 691 supply. We have additional aviation support available. I could go ahead and potentially transfer these Jakes out of here, actually. Or potentially to other bases. Maybe to Lagi. I mean, the Moonlight is about 0% right now. We have our H6K4s over here as well. Still waiting on the Chitose 2 days, apparently. Yeah. Would have preferred it a little bit sooner than that, but fair enough, fair enough. Okay. So yeah, things are going pretty well. So we do have these units over here. It's complaining, yeah, that's a lot of disruption fatigue there. I'm going to have them just continue to deliberate attack, really. We don't have... I think Shock is probably going to wreck them in terms of disruption fatigue. It would slow them down marching out of the area. We don't need to worry about supply. He's inevitably going to collapse. He had a unit surrender this turn, so it's inevitably going to come. I just don't want to get that disruption fatigue too high where we might take potential losses there. Okay, so do have that regiment moving down there. I do need to sort out the garrison for Kuala Lumpur. Ideally, each and every day, we are seeing additional allied mines drop off from Georgetown. That'd be nice. Okay. They've just arrived, I think. Yep, there we go. We'll have them wrestle train. So I think what we're going to do here then essentially is allow the Japanese forces to attack Rangoon. Though we'll see how it goes. Right. They're there, and Johoburi, okay. Not too surprising on that one. So, let's see. 820 AV. It is going to recover, but obviously we'll have the rest of the 4th Division eventually arrive here. So the 4th Division looks a hell of a lot more shot up than it actually is. A majority of these are disabled. Also, we did have a lot of losses too, but we can recover those fairly quick, sharp. It's a shame because they obviously were the weaker of the divisions, and I think they had the lesser of preparation, perhaps. Imperial Guard had 821, which is very nice. 56, 41. So I think, yeah, I think they were the one that crossed the causeway first and took the most damage there. But that happens. We do have a mixed brigade here. Mixed brigades, yeah, I mean, this is the issue. With them being smaller units, their AV drops quite quickly. They still have all this equipment over here that's still absolutely relevant. It's just obviously their AV drops off due to the fact of the squad losses. The divisions obviously have far more squads, so they don't lose that AV as quickly. But that's fine. Now, we're looking good. We're looking good here. Obviously, we cannot have a second deliberate attack over here at Clark. That's cool. Give them that time to rest. There we go. We'll keep up the bombardment with the actual artillery. Give the engineers here the time to recover. You can see the engineers are taking a lot of damage, but it's the independent units over here that are taking a lot of this damage. You can see that we actually have engineers over here, lots are disabled. I wish it did differentiate an actual combat sort of log, actually, which is like engineer, which is like actually army engineer. They've been taking a lot of damage, but we still have engineers here. We still, of course, have the engineers inside the actual divisions themselves. So you can see that we have here 47 IJ engineers. Yeah, you sort of get a picture there. Another 45 there, 44 there. Oh, so you want to have as many engineers as you can possibly get. Like, we've been paying in engineers, but this is it. This is Clark. But Clark being taken down to level 1 fortifications is significantly good for us. I mean, we had 2-to-1 losses on the attack. What was it 2, 3, 4 days ago? Something like that. It might have been about 3 days ago. So it might have been about the 13th of January. We had the attack at Clark, which was 2-to-1 ratio. We had the attack today, which was less than... it was just a little bit more than a 1-to-1 ratio there. But we did take a lot of... let's go ahead and double check. Like, we had a lot of engineered losses, but he had a lot of actual squad losses. Like, destroyed is very good there. So, yeah, here we go. The odds are getting closer and closer. It's going to be a tough one. We're still going to have to fight through this. But if he's pulling units out next turn, that'd be very nice. But these units are still taking a lot of damage now. That's even better for us. We're down to 1 there. He's suffering from preparation experience. Okay, that's to be expected. He had a lot of guns lost there as well. 30 gunsmith destroy is pretty nice. How do you keep this all in mind? A lot of the times I don't. A lot of the times I will drop the ball. But for the most part, it's just, I don't know, you kind of get used to it. You kind of get used to, like, just, you've got to do this, you've got to do this. It looks really, like, huge and overwhelming. But to be honest, because you're doing this day to day, it's like, if you're moving a unit over here from this base, you're going to be like, okay, well, that unit's going to be there by so many days. So it's a lot of, like, how to explain, I can't think of the word now. What do you call it when you sign word to somebody? What's it called? I forget what the bloody term is now. It's on the tip of the tongue. I can't remember what it is. But essentially, it's like the mental equivalent of that. It's like, let's say on the 10th of January, delegation. That's it. Thank you very much, Vedlaster. I'd like to think of it as like essentially mental delegation. It's like on turn. Let's say on the 10th of January, you're like, right, okay, I'm going to send these divisions to this sort of base. And then it's like you don't have to think about those divisions for the next few days unless something comes up. So it's like, in reality, yes, you are commanding all these forces, but there's only so many forces that you have to pay more attention to than others. And the majority of forces will just continue as they are, really. So you can take them out, and it reduces the mental load, I suppose you could say. Yeah, muscle memory, as well could say there. There are people that do take and keep notes, which is what I would recommend. It's probably a good idea to do that. I personally don't, because, I don't know, it's one of these things of, I swear when you're actually casting things, it does actually help you to remember significantly better. I swear my memory is actually better when I'm casting. Hey, didn't there, Mike? Good to have you, my friend. Let's go ahead and check on our R&D. We did have a third size 3 facility for the Key 83. I'm going to hope that we do have additional ones. We're not that far away. I'm looking forward to having the A6M8 by the end of the year. That's going to be great. If we can get the A6M8s out into the field, that'd be very nice. You can imagine, had we had that previous encounter with Zeros that were actually armoured, with superior armament and faster, that'd been brilliant for us. Okay. Let's see. D4Y1s would be very nice. Having, like, essentially dive bombs with great range would be good. D4Y1C. Okay. I think as far as we can, as far as we go over here, what we will be able to do then, because the D4Y1, as to whether we have a D4Y1, as to whether we might potentially go for the D4Y2, we should be able to make that choice once this gets to 30. I think it may potentially keep that progress, but we'll see. The D4Y1 does arrive a little bit earlier. We might be able to change it out in the future, because obviously if the D4Y1 would arrive, it's a historical date. Who knows? We'll see. D4Y1C, looking forward to that. Pitch. H6K Emily, yeah, H8K1, looking forward to those. Nicks are going to be great. Okay. Helens are not too far away. That 26 is really closing it now. It's going to be very nice. Obviously, their historical arrival date's not too far away. Also, we should be able to draw that in a little bit closer. But that's fine. These are mostly going to be production of the future. R&D, we don't really need it to arrive any sooner, because it arrives pretty quickly anyway. So these are mostly going to be production. Right, so we have a level 3 facility in Mabashi. Another level 3 over here at Okayama. Free Tokyo. We were the one at Tokyo. I was going to get really excited then. I said, wow, it's like 3s and 4s. But that's yeah, that's looking good. So we've got 3 frees here. The Key 84 Frank is actually going really well. We've got one over here which doesn't have any progress at Hamamatsu. But that's still not too bad. Yokohama Yokosuka is not... I don't know. Yokohama Yokosuka and Su, it would be better obviously if they were progressing, but... well, the other facility over here are Su and Mabashi. They're doing really well. Mabashi's really, like... hitting it out of the park so far. That's good to see. Okay. So the Key 43 production is the only thing that's essentially ongoing here. There's only 3 more facilities left over here for the Key 83, so the Key 43 to be at full production. We did add on to the Nakajima Half 34 production. It turns out we'd actually missed some engines there in the actual production, but that's fine. It's going to take a little bit more time. Obviously, we'd have had those engines, but it's not too bad. We'll manage enough. Vehicle production is nearly done. There's only 12 more facilities here, another 3 over here. We'll be up there with vehicle production. So looking pretty good. Obviously, heavy industry is looking alright, not too bad. Armaments, plenty of points left there. Merchant yards getting up there. We've got a lot of actual shipyard points, to be honest. I could probably go ahead and put some more ships into production. We're going to have a few more ships actually roll off the slipway soon enough. Okay. Not too bad overall then. Let's see. Yeah, I'm looking forward we can get these guys out of here. That's going to be very nice. It's going to be a lot of squadrons could potentially move here. So, do we move the Haste Escape Force down here to Buen? I could probably do that. We're going to be flying only half of them anyway. My only worry though is if he actually does go ahead and potentially bombard Buen. That would of course be quite bad. I think we might potentially go ahead and leave it with it as it is there really. Didn't you hold some subs? We did. Maybe I do construct them, but I don't know, it depends really. I'll put them back into construction for the time being. We'll see how the pool looks. It depends on how much it... look at the wrong thing here. Let's see. Right. Yeah, these ones are the ones we want. That one's still nice, but I prefer the other ones because I obviously do have the aircraft. Let's see. Oh, it looks like we're actually below there. Might have been something that we forgot to look at earlier on, but actually. 1384 is what we produce. What about is it? Yeah, 1384. We're currently using 1375, so I could still go for a few more. I guess we'll put them in the pool. I'll see how it looks, but it's going to be... no, it's not worth it for that many. I'll have these later arrival ones taken out of production for the time being. Wait, am I putting them... Am I accelerating them? Is that what I'm doing? I'm probably bloody accelerating. Yeah, that's it. I'm thinking, why is that going up? Ah, for fuck's sake. Let me solve this. Yeah. Well, we'll leave it as it is then for the time being then. Also, we can stop them as we need to. It's not that far, I guess. Shinano. We're building Shinano. Obviously, we could take Shinano out of production, but I'd like to have Shinano. I think she'll be doable. Let's see. And also, we're going to have Musashi Yamato not too far away. There's a crazy part of me that would love to accelerate them, but that'd be absolutely unbelievably silly. Let's see. Gano class would be very nice. And what is your favorite Japanese cruiser? Plan to build one in... oh, that's awesome from the depths. That's pretty awesome. On stream? Oh, do go ahead and check out Taylor Perspective's Twitch channel or YouTube channel. Any tips? On From the Depths? No. I played that game a little while ago. I don't have any tips, but my favorite Japanese cruiser would probably be the ones I've already lost, to be honest. Let's see. Find her here. Yeah, the Turn A class. I really like the Turn A class because they have amazing endurance and they just, I don't know, they look really sexy to me. I really like the Turn A class. Just big fan of the Turn A class. That range is just, yeah, it's like, mwah. They might not necessarily be the best, but I really do like the Turn A. Endurance really means a hell of a lot in this game. Being able to, like, reduce the amount of time that you might have to go and think about refueling or have to go and refuel, and just being able to have that time on station is really worthwhile in my opinion. But it's been a very interesting day event today, hasn't it really? So he's got some hits in there. Of course, his hit, well, he's saying the Kishai, which is obviously a sucky thing, but hey, it's unfortunate. She's never going to get away from those PT boats. Well, why not? Thanks. Yeah, there you go. Turn A class is amazing. But then again, he hit out of Rabal, but even the ships he hit at Rabal haven't been sunk, so that's not too bad. I mean, this is it. If he comes in again, that'd be interesting. Yeah, DDs. I wish DDs had more range. Destroyers with extra range are just extra lovely, frankly. We'll have to look at that one there. Okay. Now, if I take a look over here, then, we do actually have a replenishment, so we actually do have an AO over here, so I can actually look towards them. I think probably what I'll do then is take out the destroyers that can't keep going, and then have them refueled by the AO, or even potentially have the AO refuel them, really. But it's nice to actually have the Kitabatai actually reunited once again. It would have been nice to have the Haruna in here, but unfortunately not. I mean, this is it. Haruna's too slow. If she'd been able to keep her cruise speed, we might potentially consider bringing her, but that's not too bad. So, I mean, current position from Kitabatai is far. It's about 20, 21, 22 hexes there. So, I don't think Kitabatai is going to be in a position there. But it's interesting, to be honest, nonetheless. I think what we're going to be looking towards doing then, we might look at how someone can actually get ASWs towards out here towards, like, potentially, you know, what I'll call Taongi. All we need to do is like drop off like an aviation koi and like some supply. We'll be able to fly ASW flights of Jakes from there. It's not going to cover Wake, but it'd do well enough anyway. And I think what we'll do then is we'll probably set up bombardments using cruisers. That'd be a likely way to go. What we want to do is like knock out the airfield essentially. But we could potentially bomb the airfield perhaps. What's the range from a double talk? So that's 14 hex range. Like, the G3s or G4s could do that. We might potentially use them to bomb the airfield. In 14 hexes is the absolute limit of, like, A-System-2 escort range, but we might consider doing that. I think bombarding the airfield and then bombard it potentially via the air might be a good way to go about it. Either way, we want to knock out the airfield. If I knock out the airfield, okay, that's good. It does not stop him from actually, like, having float planes there, but it still means... It means he can't use F4Fs, he can't use Wildcats, he can't use other stuff like that, really, which is not too bad. Okay. Pretty interesting day, then, really. What do you guys think so far? Let's see. So we have the Key 43s over here, we have the M21 Stanleys. A shame about these guys, about the powers. Let's see. Infantry. Yeah, I need to get the powers. I'll likely use the torpedo boats to go ahead and pick these guys up. We could do that. They can carry about 50 troop load. How much troop load are these guys, these fragments? Ooh, 210 there. I'm gonna have to pick up this one over here first and then bring them back. But we could do that. A few ships is viable. It does interest me seeing the ships out here. But if we take a look at this then in the context of what we have here, we do have the potential to bring a Zero Squadron to bear in this area. We do have 4 warning from Port Blair. So that's 15 from Port Blair. We have a range about... Is it about 14 with the Key 46s? Yeah. I might actually have that squadron broken up and potentially moved elsewhere to reduce the load. We could potentially have like a few detachments moved elsewhere, to be honest. Or we might have it unified. It depends really. I don't want to be in a position where it might get bombarded, perhaps. Only a few ships in there. We've seen then, he hasn't really been bringing ships into Rangoon anywhere near as much as he did in the past. I think we're looking pretty solid, to be honest. We're not too far out now from Bigu, which is good for me. I'm happy about that one. Making progress in China. Real good progress over here at Clark. Real good progress. Seeing 2 units over here is an interesting one, but I don't know how many men are actually in this base. There's the 1 unit. I don't know how strong that is. It gives him something to think about, though. So it's thunderstorms over Manila at the moment. Thunderstorms over here at Clark as well. Really need to get that that airfield damage up at Clark. The issue is, of course, that there's a lot of engineers there at Clark. At least we have been able to reduce... Well, I don't think disabled engineers repair. I can't recall if they do or not. I'd like to think they didn't. Invasion of Washington. Yeah. That'd be nice. Okay. The divisions are still looking pretty solid here, which is nice. Yeah, 100 TOE. 95, 101, 95, 83. Not too bad, man. So we're still at 1967 AV. Obviously that's been boosted by having that other SLF unit there, but it's still pretty solid. There's not really much, if anything else, I could bring to Clark. There might be odd forces, but nothing really of like substance. Nothing really tremendously large. But it's working. I'm glad to see it's working. I mean, the battles at Clark have been really good for us, to be honest. And the excellent thing is, obviously, we're gonna be continuing to bomb the actual airfield. We're gonna continue to bombard with the actual heavy artillery that we do have here at Clark, which is excellent. And this is it. These independent artillery units are just... It's a lot of artillery. And it just keeps on well on him. You can see that we're losing the odd couple gun, but guns are very interesting one because it can range from like the largest caliber all the way to like down to a mortar. And that is Washington Islands to south of Palmyra. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Oh dear. Let's go ahead and check that one out again. What do we see here then? So 464 guns. Yeah, I think we came off pretty well there. See that, save that Kitagami had 4 bomb hits there. Isokaze or Izokazi. Yeah, 5 bombs there on Nagara. They actually took that remarkably well, to be honest. Okay, so they came in there. Well, that's where they dropped 3k. So they can drop it 2k. That's good to see that confirmed, actually. So they drop between 4, 3, and 2. Well, 2, 3, and 4 is where they dropped. 1 shot down by flak's not too bad. A couple of damage there. I would have hoped that would have had more of the 8.5 M4s, but hey, I guess not. Yeah, it would have been great if we had the torpedo into the Enterprise. That would have been nice. But here we go. So 63 down. That's really good there. 66 disabled. 56 guns, so 30 destroyed, 26 disabled. Obviously, the disabled guns are not going to be firing, so that's like that's a real loss of 56 guns there. Obviously, guns could be like mortars, but he is cracking. He is cracking, and that's crack-a-lacking good. They're going to be gone soon. I'm really looking forward to when they are, because if there's any of the objectives that we might actually be able to take potentially before the end of January, it might very well be Luzon. Shot down by IGNAA. Yeah. Oh dear. Let's see. We don't know how accurate that is, so obviously we're going to take it with a pinch of salt. He didn't lose many. He didn't lose many of his SPDs. Honestly, it would have been nice if we could have been able to. If it had a significantly lesser escort, that'd have been good. But I was still going to take that. I mean, that's not bad there, really. I mean, the fact we only lost 5 zeros, we lost them all in air-to-air, not ops, which is nice. Which is actually somewhat surprising considering the fatigue. It wasn't particularly fantastic for us, but that's not bad. So I mean, that's 9. So that's 11 Wildcats today. Obviously, the 2 models there. So I think that might be like more than a month's worth of his production. I think he might get like 8 of certain. I can't remember which one it is, but I think he only gets about 8 of a certain type of Wildcat. So that's good. That's like a month's worth of production essentially. Then if that's true, we have then the 5 Buffalo. So that's 16 fighters of his carriers. And then we had obviously the 5 SP2s. And we didn't see the Devastators, interestingly enough. He might potentially have taken them off really. And then we had a Vindicator. I mean, that's still 22 possible enemy carrier aircraft. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but that's still a substantial number. Moving east. So whereabouts was he beforehand? He was about 11 hexes out from Raphael, wasn't he? It's about 11. 5. I mean, this is great. I mean, I love the fact that it's having to use fuel. I like that. I really do like that a lot. The TBDs might be on ASW. Oh, that's true. We should really go ahead and check the ops report. I've not checked that, have I? That'd tell us if there's potentially anything there to take into consideration. Let's see. I don't know what about the Okuyo Maru. That one, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Ah, there we go. Wow. We've got an ace over here then. 6 kills. Wow. Another ace. There we go. I don't know if they survived, but we'll go ahead and check that out, actually. Yeah, crashes from return leg. From Yamada. Does not return. Missing there. Okay. Shanghai has been expanded to size 2, which is excellent. Ever been to those Pacific Islands yourself? Nope. Nope. I'm just waiting to hear back from the university that I'm hoping to actually attend. I've got a grade for it. I'm just hoping to hear back from them now. But I'll be hopefully spending a year in Japan in about 2 years from now. So that should be fun. That'd be nice to actually learn the language. Let's go ahead and check on this signal and turn to there, as Mr. Four says. Heavy detection, heavy radio transmissions at San Francisco, Anchorage, Madras, Christmas Island, Seattle, and Pago. Now that was pretty interesting. Yeah. That'd be one island I'd love to take out there. But I think if we do get the opportunity, I would like to strike out towards like the Lion Islands, which are here. Bacon and Canton would be ones to potentially capture or reduce, really. Yeah. Right, that makes sense then. So it wasn't actually at Midway, but it's interesting because it... Ah, right, I see. I want 75, interesting. I can't recall setting up I-175, so it might have been set up previously and just forgotten about, really. So it would have gone all the way around here, so it might have just been naturally left in there and forgotten about. Oh, she did a good job. Yeah, we're going to have these guys over here. I mean, this is it. We do have here the float plane, the I-17 with her E14Y1 Glen. So what we can do then is actually bring I-15 as well. She's also got her Glen. Yep, there we go. And then what we could do is bring the rest of the subs over here and try to actually pick them off. Can't we form a signal intelligence frontline unit so they can do something useful? Yeah, that'd be fun. Okay. Yeah, shame about the PTs and the paras, but well, I suppose that happens, isn't it? So he's got 8 units over here, so he's moving something out of Clark and something back into Clark. But even then, what is he going to be moving into Clark? And is it not better that we're actually fighting it in Clark, where his units have started to be degraded? I mean, true, it's times 3 terrain, but his units are really taking very real damage. I'd rather fight him now at Clark than elsewhere, because we have the greatest advantage, I suppose you could say. And he's going to have lesser fortifications here than probably Manila. But I mean, this is it. We've taken him from level 3 down to 2, down to 1. If we attack again in another few days, take him down to level 0 and maintain at 0, then that's going to be pretty good. He's still going to have the terrain, but once Clark falls, then that is the toughest part of the Philippines captured there. That's going to be really good for us. That's going to be awesome. Yeah, not too far now from the fall of Malaya fully. I'm going to be happy with that. Okay. Yeah, 912 tons there arrived. Awesome. Yeah, so things are good now. Yeah, you can see that they went from being a reserve to being actually ready and good to go. So they've had a great holiday. They're like, sir, we can't fly. And they're like, why? Because we don't have a fucking fuel. We can't do it. Okay, so divide that unit. I want to get intelligence on these port bases. I really want to know what we're dealing with here. Medic is not too bad, I can see roughly. That's an important base. I'd like to have potential paratroopers brought in to take that base there. So if it's empty, that's great. So I'd like to seize that if I can. I'm going to have to take these guys off all that rest, but that's okay. Right, there we go. We'll look into ready ourselves for the invasion. That was the base that we saw that was previously... I mean, the good news is because we do actually have a decent level of control in this area now, which is quite nice. Like, he does have bombers, but not that many. We can start to look to where we can land. I mean, what we want to do here, then, is essentially when we do make the attempt at Java, is we want to land in as many different locations as possible, really. That would be nice. I try and secure as much of the island as quickly as possible, really. There we go. Yeah, I'm glad we have the AA units there. I may potentially bring another AA unit there. It's nice to see them actually doing something good, frankly. Okay. Plenty of AA. Right, you're prepared for Semarang. I mean, Semarang having 1 unit there is not too bad. I mean, what I'd want to do is obviously have a good bunch of engineers brought over to repair Semarang's port facilities as quickly as possible. Obviously, we want to have aviation capacity, aviation support brought across as well, so we actually have that ability then from the get-go. But we are closing it now. I mean, we're in a position where we could actually close the door on Java sooner. I mean, obviously what we'll do... I was considering potentially striking towards Batavia first, but I think what we want to potentially do then is go ahead and take on Surabaya first. It must have been a misfire of a practice round on the opposite pilot. Yeah, well, that's it, yeah. Oh, dear. Okay. Right, you're loading troops, so I'm going to have them move back potentially over here to Mexico. I think I might actually have these APDs actually sent over... Well, actually, no, the Shimakaze... Naragaze, they can be used over here to pick up forces. We know there's S-37 in here. So we'll have to take that into consideration. Right, they're moving back in here, that's cool. Okay, so I think we're going to call it about here then for today. It's been a good 1 hour and 35 minutes. It's been an interesting turn. It's been a very interesting turn. Obviously things could have been better, but it was very nice to actually see that the American carriers are... they are real. And we can get to them. You can imagine, had we had a torpedo land home, that'd have been amazing. It's a shame that we had 7 go down, 1 to flak, and the other just missed, but still close, very close. He's going to have to bear that in mind. He's not going to be as smug as he normally is now, because he's had a very real awakening there. It might not seem like a lot, but it is going to have an impact. As to whether we move more aircraft over there, we can definitely do so if we need to. That's the good thing. The range there between him and Truck is pretty distant. He might go... Well, yeah, Truck. And I don't think he's going to go for Truck. He's going to have to take into consideration that the Kid could be bearing down upon him at any moment in time. But this is it. He's played his hand. He's played and revealed his hand in the form of revealing the carriers. That's going to work to our advantage as well. It's going to be a very interesting few days to come. We'll see what we can do with them. So thank you here to my patrons, my lovely Ove Cato Borsheim, Susana and Daniel. Though Susana doesn't know, to be honest. Stanislav, 14123, Alex, Dilgen, Gravy, Paradigmblue, Thunder, Erkkijuusto, Dingobat4, Baines, KO, BLeAcHACiD, Eric Wild, Spacht, Imperator Thrawn, Rick Chambers, James Lindsay, George Kilgore, Iceycrome, Chromie and Icy, Talon E, deepicduck, Raphael, Paul Sanders, SunYan, My Swiss, Sugar Daddy, The Forgotten, Don Luba, Ricky Blinson and Gregory VanHouten. Thank you very much there to my lovely patrons, and to all of you who are watching, much appreciated. If you guys do feel I've earned your support as a content creator, please do consider becoming a patron or subscribing here on Twitch or on YouTube. It would be much appreciated. And I hope you guys have an awesome evening. I'm looking forward to taking a look at this turn. Until next time, thank you for watching. Tena Heika Banzai, Oyasuminasai. I shall see you guys in the future. Sayonara. Jene.